Well, I've come up to my local church tonight, just above, nice viewpoint, and I'm up here tonight testing out Benro's new FH100 M2B filter system. Now, I've had the system for about 6 months, I think now. I'm using it quite regularly at the moment. I kind of wanted to try this system. I was very interested in the holder and obviously the glass filters that they do as well. They've sent me a collection of filters. Obviously the base holder, I've got a selection of graduate filters in different strengths, both soft and hard, and also an ND filter and their polariser as well, their screw-on polariser. So I'll talk you through the system itself, how it works, some of the finer points, some of the points that I'm not too keen on, and let's say I'll be interested in your thoughts as well, so let me know what you think, and I'll take a few shots tonight with some of the filters that I've got to kind of show you the quality that they produce. So the filters were sent to me. They come in hard plastic cases. Inside the plastic cases you get the filters themselves in these nice little sort of suede wallets. These are brilliant. Very nice sort of protective material, stops the filters getting marked up. They're pretty good. You then get a holder. I'll go into more detail about these holders. These are the frames, if you like, the filter frames that you get for each filter. The filters basically slot into place and you use these in the holder. One thing I will say at the outset is it's a shame that the filters, once they're in these holders, don't fit in these cases, or they don't do a case big enough to, and not that I'm aware of, that fits the filter once it's in place. So you've got to keep taking them in and out of these frames, which is a little bit fiddly. But like I said, the overall quality of the materials and the packaging that the filters come in is pretty good. I'm quite pleased with that. And obviously you get the base holder as well, which I'll go into more detail now. Now, first and foremost, you get this these filter rings, very similar to other systems. They literally screw on the front of your lens. These come in different sizes, obviously to fit different lenses. The holder then slips over this this filter ring. So as you can see, there's my lens ring on the front there. The holder fits on the lens ring, or the adapter ring, and this little toggle switch here, you pull that up, that clamps onto there. Then the holder then moves freely. If you want to secure it, so if you're using graduate filters or anything, you just turn this little blue knob, and then that basically secures the holder from sort of spinning around. Now on the rear of the holder, you'll notice this serrated, where it says rotate, the serrated ring. Now on the front of the holder, where your polarizer goes, this can basically be rotated from the back. That's quite a nice little feature. You can look through the lens and rotate it without having to touch the front of the filter. So that's quite a nice nice little addition there. Also next to this rotation ring is this little toggle switch here. I'll explain about this now. Now this little toggle switch here, or toggle knob, it's basically a pull pin, so you can see it pulls out. Now what it does, if I look on the other side of the filter, you see just down here, as you pull the toggle out, it lines up with the grooves in the filter holder. Now this little toggle mechanism is designed to use with your graduated filter frames, and you can see that sort of serrated edge along here. That then goes into the filter holder, and then once the holder's in place, the filter holder can be moved up and down using this this toggle on the back. Now the graduate filter frames have basically got a groove, an inset groove in one side, and it's kind of flush on the other side. And you'll notice this little blue toggle here. So basically with your filter, you basically slide that into the holder. Then this little blue disc here is basically a tensioner, if you like. So that pushes that down there so the filter can't fall out. And once that's in, obviously your filters can stay clean. You don't need to touch the actual physical filter itself. You've literally just got the frame. The graduate filters are made from glass. They are neutral, as opposed to some systems that I've used in the past that claim that they're neutral, but they're not, and they sometimes produce a weird sort of colour cast. These are neutral. I've got a set of two sets of grads, one soft, one hard grad, in 2 stops, 3 stops, and 1 stop as well. The 1 stop I've very rarely used, but it's handy to have. And I've also got a 3-stop ND filter, an overall ND filter. So now I place my filter in. Now, first of all, I'll show you can actually use it just like a standard holder, similar to other makes, where you can slide the filter up and down wherever you want it. You can then sort of rotate it wherever you like. As you pull that toggle, it lines up with the grooves of each filter slot. So I'm going to put it back on the first slot where my graduate filter is, bring it down so the filter's there. I can now, with the toggle, adjust the filter up and down. This is quite handy if you're looking for sort of precise placement of your filters. Again, once it's there, it doesn't move, and you can lock that filter in place and everything's nice and steady. Now I'll take this graduate filter out. Now you notice on the frames for the ND filters and square filters, there's no serrated edges. So basically once your filter's in place, just slot it into the holder, and again you can sort of move it up and down. Same system here with this little toggle. So once your filter's in place, pull that toggle across, that then locks it into the frame. Now this is the polarizing filter, and you can see it's quite thin, which is good. It's an 82mm filter. This, instead of attaching to the front of the holder, it fits into the back, which is closer to the lens. So in theory, it's better. The closer to the lens, the better. You don't get any problems with flare and light bouncing, sort of stray light bouncing around inside. So if I just take this holder off a minute, this basically screws onto the. So this can be a bit fiddly. I tend to find if you hold the serrated edge on the back there while you're placing the filter on, it stops that sort of inner ring from moving. So put that one on. So that's nice and secure now. And like I said before, this serrated ring will actually rotate the polarizer without you having to. You can see that sort of changing there then as I'm rotating that around. So you're not touching the actual filter, and once it's in place on the camera, away you go basically. I'm using one of Benro's step down rings now. I've changed lenses, I've got a longer lens on. The step down ring gives me from 82mm, which is the standard filter size for the holder, and it brings me down to 58mm, which is the filter thread size on this lens that I'm using. I've got a polarizer in place, and I've got a 2-stop hard grad, which I'm going to use with the toggle system here, so it will go up and down, and I'll show you on the back of the screen how effective that is then. And there we go. As I move the toggle, I'm bringing the graduate filter down bit by bit. I'm able to balance that nicely then. So overall, yeah, I'm pretty pleased with this system. It is a bit fiddly to start with, I can't sort of deny that. Compared to, I mean, I've used the same system, the Lee system, for quite a while now, so you get used to a certain system. So going into something new, it's like anything, it takes a while to get used to. But overall quality, I'm quite pleased. I mean, the filters themselves are great. They're fantastic filters. They're neutral, and they do what they're supposed to do, and they're well made. The holder itself, yeah, it's got its quirks. I'm kind of getting used to it now, so there are parts that I really like, particularly this rotation ring on the back. I like the fact that you can lock off the holder as well, which is quite handy. The toggle switch, at the moment I'm not too keen on that. I do use it occasionally, but I tend to use it, the holder, just as a normal holder, so slide the filters up and down myself. But for architecture and some of the work that I do, some of the food photography I do, that's quite handy if I'm using filters to be able to move them up and down with this toggle. The ring system, again, the adapter rings are pretty similar to other systems, so they're not too different. So overall, yeah, I'm pretty pleased with this system. I've still got a few sort of tests and things to do before I kind of decide whether I'm going to stick with the brand I'm with at the moment, or whether I'm going to sort of switch over to this. But yeah, it's I'm pretty pleased with it, I must admit. If you've got any questions on this, please let me know. If I've kind of missed anything on this review and you need to ask me questions, I'll sort of attempt to answer any of your questions if I can. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.